Looking poor is most important for your financial freedom. Look at it this way. Have you seen those gold digger videos on the internet? Did you feel those gold diggers were shallow and vain? The truth, however, is that all of us are a little gold digger inside. Basically, we have this social need to get attracted to wealth and display wealth so that people get attracted to us. But if you give in to that temptation, you will never achieve financial freedom. You want to know why? Let me tell you 7 reasons why looking poor is so important for your financial freedom. The first reason why looking poor is important is because of your mindset towards money. Do different people think differently about money? Obviously. Poor, middle class, and rich people have different mindsets when it comes to money. Poor people see money as a means to pay bills, the middle class uses money to buy things on credit, and the rich view money as a tool to generate more wealth. Rich people appear poor because they have little liquid cash. Their money is tied up in assets. So if you are not looking poor, then you are obviously spending money on liabilities and not on assets. Of course, it doesn't mean deliberately living like a pauper, but it means not spending extravagantly on things that you really don't need. It also goes one step further, identifying needs versus wants. You need a car, but you want a BMW. We'll come back to it in a moment. The second reason why looking poor is important is because no one cares about your fancy stuff. Before we dive deep into this one, why do you think most people try to look rich? They do it because of social approval and fitting in. They are looking for external validation by signaling success to others. Moreover, social media has increased the need to appear successful in people's minds. But the reality is that in most of the cases, people either don't care or a small percentage of people get jealous of you when you show off. Let's face it, people are self-obsessed beings. When you are driving a Ferrari, they don't look at you, but at the car. They imagine themselves driving a Ferrari to show other people. They haven't even noticed you at all. Showing material things will only give you very small, short-term gains, and that too in very few cases. That's why, focus on personal priorities and don't care about social approval. The third reason why looking poor is important is that the truly rich are not insecure. This may come out as harsh, but a lot of poor people display expensive cars, brands, and stuff because they are trying to compensate for something. They are insecure about their finances, their social status, or feel inferior in some way. That's why you will see that most of the sales for luxury cars and brands come from the poor and middle class who are trying to project that they are rich. They say that coins make most sound, but bills are silent. People of lower value try to elevate their status by external means and gaudy display of wealth. Moreover, most of the outward display of wealth is fueled by debt. 90% of the people driving swanky cars are one step away from being broke. Truly rich people are not insecure and they don't need to flaunt their wealth to show they are rich. Frankly, this is the biggest reason why people like to look rich, but it is also the only reason I feel is super stupid. You don't stab yourself if you are not feeling good. That's common sense. Similarly, if you are insecure about something, don't dig a financial hole for yourself. Fourth is a hidden reason. That is, looking poor is important because it destroys your wealth. A lot of middle-class folks are a victim of it. They confuse their wants with needs. Let me explain how. Most of the people are unknowingly trapped in consumerism. They don't even know that they have stepped into a constant upgrade and compare cycle. For example, professionals like lawyers, doctors, and accountants may feel pressure to showcase their wealth through extravagant lifestyles. It is because their peers and similar income people are spending their money in certain ways, and they feel like they have to keep up to fit in. Or there are certain standards that we as a society have imposed on ourselves when it comes to gifts, celebrations, festivals, holidays, vacations, ceremonies, and all sorts of occasions. Another example is a big segment of the population upgrading their phones and cars every year because a newer model has come to the market. I am also counting people who are changing their phones every 2 to 3 years and their cars every 4 to 6 years. This pattern of a constant upgrade or a compare cycle stops you from creating any meaningful and long-lasting wealth. The additional gap that you create by delaying your purchase translates to a very big difference in your net worth in the long run. That's why I try to use my phones for at least 5 years, if not more. And my cars have lasted me for at least 12 to 13 years. I don't buy a new laptop before 7 to 8 years. And I know that this habit of mine will help me add at least a couple more million to my net worth in a few decades. First of all, why upgrade? There is no point in upgrading until the new thing is not going to add anything to your life, work, or productivity. Or the old thing has reached the end of its life and stopped working altogether. Secondly, Every $1,000 that you are spending today can be your 1-year expense in 30 years because of compounding. Do some research on compound interest and you will find tons of videos on it. That's why looking rich destroys your chance to actually be rich. That brings me to the 5th point of why looking poor is important. If you don't act poor, you are poor. I've seen many people who can't stop working because they have monthly payments up to their eyeballs. Monthly payments on their house, cars, phones, cards, and on everything else. And these payments never end because once one payment gets paid off, they immediately go out and buy new stuff, and their payments start again. Despite appearances of wealth, many people live paycheck to paycheck, often funded by debt. They are one missed paycheck away from going broke. Or they will keep on making those payments throughout their lives and never get breathing room in their paycheck to save and invest for the future. And guess what? Most of the wealth is created by saving and investing. This brings me to the 6th point of why it is important to look poor. The real wealth is hidden. Ever wondered what differentiates the poor from the rich? It is the way they handle their money. A poor person, no matter how much money they have, will spend money on cars, designer clothes, expensive stuff, and experiences. A rich person, no matter how little money they have, will always spend money to buy assets that bring in more money. A poor person's money is always limited, because no matter how much they have, it ends sooner or later if they keep on buying new stuff. A rich person's money, on the other end, works on an infinite glitch. Their money brings in more money, which brings in more money, which brings in more money, and on and on. That's why they say that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Anyways, the point is that wealth is stored in assets like stocks, bonds, and real estate, not visible possessions. However, many people equate being rich with owning luxury items and living an Instagram-worthy lifestyle. The problem with all of this stuff is that they are losing value and will come to the end of their life. Some stuff lasts a month, some a decade, but they all go to the trash sooner or later. Assets, on the other hand, keep on increasing in value. They will be 4 times more valuable in 10 years, 16 times in 20, and 64 times in 30. That's why true wealth is not about displaying expensive possessions, but maintaining financial security and stability. And if you are displaying money, then you will have nothing left to create true wealth. This brings me to the 7th and final point of why looking poor is so important. Because it brings financial peace. What would you like to be? Would you like to be someone who has a stupid level of money, but is still worried about the next payments, work, someone taking it all away, never being able to live and enjoy it, and other commitments? Or would you like to be someone who has limited amounts of money, but is content with your life? You have enough to live a decent life. You have all your needs and some of your wants covered. You have the freedom to pursue your hobbies, goals, and personal and professional projects because you are not tied by your finances. I'm sure you would have arrived at the same answer as me. Most do. Because ultimately, money is a tool to live life on your terms. Money gives you the freedom to do what you want. You like to travel? Go travel. You want to start a business? Start. You want to pursue a hobby without worrying about where your next month's bill payment comes from? Do it. Now, a simple lifestyle brings financial peace as it avoids the stress and debt associated with maintaining a wealthy appearance. I would feel pity for a person who comes to this life just to work, pay bills, have to keep on just working to fuel his or her lifestyle, and do nothing of substance at the end of it all. I don't want to be that guy. That's why I work hard toward creating a safety net that gives me financial peace. The more I go out to buy stuff to look rich, the farther I'll be from that future. I may look poor in the eyes of other people, but I'll be wealthy and financially peaceful. Meet you in the next video.